Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So myself and Rory have just been on the kickoff. Go check out the highlights on their YouTube channel. And we've seen Liverpool beat Manchester City 1-0. First things first, I do want to talk about whether Arsenal can win the league because they're still top of the league. But let's get a brief reaction to that. 1-0 win for Liverpool today. Was that a win they deserved?
Yeah, I think they certainly deserved it. I think that they perhaps rode their luck. There was definitely some conversation for us to have regarding the disallowed goal. I know that there was sort of various elements and stages to that, the corner that was never given and whatever else. But overall, I think it was a brilliant result from Liverpool. And Man City can't get one over. That was 3 in a row off the top of my head. The FA Cup semi-final, the Charity Shield, and now tonight. There's something going on. Klopp can make it count at the biggest.
People seem to have them. I remember Ali had that thing over him where he could just kept beating him. Managers do that, don't they? They find a way of playing against Pep, stick to it, and it usually comes up good. Big result for you like today.
Really big, but not like one of those ones where it feels like a turning point yet. I think Liverpool needs to get a few of those.
But this has to be it, Loz.
No,
that's
got to be a turning
point. We
point.
thought the Newcastle game was though.
We thought multiple games were, and I think the point for Liverpool is not about one game. There are multiple things where you can say one game in there where, you know, oh, I can see they did that today or they did that, and I think there were big changes. But it's also such a bespoke game plan for Pep. And also, I was really confused as to why Pep didn't change it late. He kept Haaland on, and I thought, you know what, maybe if you changed it a little bit and you got some late runners into the box, or you changed it to a different tactic, you got something a bit different. But clearly they just didn't want to do that.
I just think it's a massive result. When you look at the performances as well, I thought Joe Gomez was brilliant. Mohamed Salah, when he most needed it, steps up.
Milner also, I mean, there were certain
game,
City fans that were saying Milner got retired by Foden in the last game. So, I don't know, did he bring him out of retirement in this game? I can't work it out. I think the thing for Liverpool is, it's really about making up that points difference at this point. Not to City, by the way, to we're looking at the table at the moment, to Chelsea or
6
Spurs.
points. Liverpool is 6 points off top 4.
Yeah,
this is nothing, is it, at this stage of the season?
And bear in mind, as long as Liverpool remain within 12 points, that's the gap they made up last year. So just it for that.
Yeah, I was hoping today Liverpool wouldn't win. I didn't really want City to win. I was hoping they wouldn't win. So that, because I feel obviously United dropped points today. I hope we can compete for 4th, and I do think that final spot in the top 4 is going to come between us three teams.
It's no good if you support Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham, or probably those 3. It's no good for you that Liverpool win, because Liverpool, if Liverpool find any rhythm, they'll obviously make top 4, which basically means somebody has to be sacrificed.
But at the same time, I feel like it's good to see someone else on top of the league. Although it's Arsenal, we have to deal with their fans and all that. To see City not top of the league at this stage,
basically City proxy though, isn't it? Because he's like, everyone gives Pep sort of the credit for bringing him to where he is. I don't know if that's true. I think he would have been there anyway. But I think also with Arsenal, I think the point is they feel a bit like a holding slate for City. Basically, they're basically going, we'll keep it warm. And
it's weird. Everyone's kind of speaking about it as if Arsenal are just fighting for top 4 still.
Sure. No, I'm not.
I'm not considering them to be challenging.
I'm saying Arsenal can win. Yeah, 100%. 100%. My whole YouTube is Arsenal can win the league. And is
that fair?
Yeah, I think they can win the league. Of course I do. They're top of the league. We're over a quarter of the way through the season. They've had a massive win today. They've extended the gap on top. What I find very weird is the people that tell me they can't win the league, generally speaking, are Arsenal fans. They seem to be very polite and very calm and very rational about their chances of winning it, whereas I think football fandom in itself is irrational, isn't it? I genuinely think Chelsea are going to win the Champions League. I honestly believe that, and that is what I would sing if I were in a stadium, and that is what I think you kind of, as a football fan, QPR fans sing that they're the best team in the world. That's what you do, isn't it? And the fact that Arsenal fans sing, I reckon today, the fact they've pulled away today, maybe even the non-conformist Arsenal fans may now be going.
See, the reason I say I think it's unfair to judge them on whether they because the reason I won't say now Arsenal can win the league or expect they should challenge for it is because if at the end of the season they finish 2nd, it'd be unfair of me to go, oh, you should have won the league.
Well, it depends.
Because I don't think you can consider them to be in that position. I think this season for them is all about top 4, and especially when you look at the squad.
No, but expectations have to change, Adam. That would have been a brilliant. Before we kicked the ball this season, if Arsenal had finished in the top 4, I would have said that Arteta had done brilliantly. But expectations change, and at the moment we're not quite ready for them to change because we're only a quarter of the way, just over a quarter of the way through the season. But at some point, if Arsenal was 6 points clear with 4 games to go, it would be a failure to not win the league. And look, I know we're not there yet, but Arsenal top of the league. They're winning games, they're playing with character, they're looking like they have a real team spirit, they're overcoming massive hurdles, beating Tottenham,
I think one of the
beating
things they
Liverpool.
have on their side is, and I don't think it'd be as surprising if they won the league as Leicester, but you know that feeling where every week feels like
gold.
they're not really expecting to win, but when they do, it's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, and well,
we've won
also the way
again.
they bounce back. You know, when they lost to
And the way
Manchester
they
United, when they lost to Manchester United, I kind of thought, there we go. As soon as they play somebody with prestige, they get beat. And then bang, they bounce back. They beat Liverpool. They beat Tottenham, which is significant. You know, Conte and all that. So, I think they can. I genuinely think. I don't think they will. I think Man City will win it.
Do you know?
But they can.
So that's what I think is interesting. I think if you say Arsenal aren't going to win the league, it's not because Arsenal are bad. It's because you think City are good.
I think City will ultimately go on a run where they'll win 15 games in a row, and Arteta and Arsenal will just be left behind. They'll
I
get
also
the odd
think
draw
like
here
this,
and there.
I don't think, as much as I don't think Arsenal have the squad to do it, unless they strengthen massively in January.
And bed them in quick.
I also
Yeah.
just don't feel like I don't know. They're not. I don't think that's the challenge for them.
But I think
It's not the challenge
the
for
point
them,
that
it's
the
not
point is that maybe they've slightly overextended themselves if they are looking at a title challenge. This is also bearing in mind if this was a normal season, I think we'd be talking about it slightly different because it feels a bit more like a slog. Arsenal
And you never
got
win
like
the
this.
league with Thursday, Sunday either.
I can understand. Maybe
That's
that's
a
an
problem.
Alan
That is
Hansen
a
level.
problem.
But I think the point is with this, there's also a bit of an asterisk season, and I'm not saying that
Because of
to
the World
get,
Cup.
to get at them, but because that World Cup gives Arteta a bit of time to get the players back in and go right. You're not going to go to the World Cup. You're not going to,
It's
So-
like two breaks in the season. There's breaks in the season, isn't it? It's like, let's see where we are at the World Cup and then reassess.
Exactly, and it gives you like two little. You know, if you're going to run a marathon, you go.
Yeah, get to the
long.
halfway
If I was
point.
Arteta,
Get to the
Two halves,
yeah.
you go. Oh, I think I can make
If
it.
I was Arteta though, and it got to February,
And we're ahead.
and we're still in with a chance, I boot the Europa League out the window.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Because
think-
you go, well, if we go for the league and we miss out, we get top 4. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
don't need that
European
carrot of
silverware,
Europa.
though, man.
I also-
European silverware
can
for Arsenal.
ruin your-
Arsenal have a
ruin your
pitiful
league
record in
season.
Europe.
But do you know what else I think it is as well? I think most people, we're not Arsenal going fans. I think there must be such a change in the stadium with
Good
with what's
vibes.
going on.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
It
around that
must be
stadium.
like, I remember, again, I don't want to really compare it too much, but there was a period under Ali where we finished second and all that, and you just feel like something's building here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
But you can
eventually
hear them
realise
singing,
it's
you
not.
know, when they're doing that Saliba song to Tequila. Like, there is a good vibe around the club. They are moving in the right direction. But look, I think they can win it. But the weirdest thing is the people who tell me they can't win it are generally Arsenal
I think
fans.
that's fair to them though. And if I was an Arsenal fan, as much as I'd be getting giddy and all that stuff, like, you know, if United are top of the league, I'm saying 21 is coming. If I'm
Yeah,
an Arsenal
exactly.
fan, I do go, yeah, we're not looking to win the league, we're looking to finish top 4. Before you go anywhere, what in a word, you said Arsenal can win the league. Can they? Not will they, can they?
Yes.
I don't think they can.
Yeah.
I think it's all about top 4. Darwin Núñez.
Bad game. Bad day at the office again.
Do you actually want my honest opinion?
Lawrence's opinion here. I sit somewhere between the two of you, I think. So I think that we should hear Lawrence's perspective on this, which is far more relevant.
Well, I mean, so I saw him against Rangers. I think it's a nice finish against Rangers. I think that shows some element of capability. But at the moment, it feels a lot like Liverpool are trying to spoon feed him a lot of opportunities. And when he's not spoon fed, then there's either a confidence or a mental issue where he sort of overthinks it. And then there's other elements where most people, and the words that a lot of the people who do the stats around Liverpool are going, it's good, but it's raw, isn't it? It's a lot of raw in there. And the words and the vernacular around him are similar to the way people spoke about Timo Werner. I'm not saying he is that same kind of player, but this isn't a short-term project for Liverpool. I think Klopp has bought him, and Pep have bought him, so Pep's the number 2 thing, to as a long-term, like, we will craft you because we can see there's something there.
Yeah.
But I also think they've got him into the club and they've kind of gone, oh, there's a few bits that we didn't see here, or like there's a personality there that, yeah, he's clearly a nice kid, but like there's personality there where he's a bit in his own head, or he's a bit violent.
So
Yeah,
you
I'm on the complete flip. I just think he's not a Jurgen Klopp player. I think the price tag's something, not the wages, the price tag's hanging over his head, and ultimately I don't think he's a donkey, man.
I'm not there. I'm not there.
I'm not there, but I'm definitely one of those Liverpool fans who isn't like, obviously I'm not the game week in, week out, but I'm not one of those Liverpool fans who's going, yeah, get him out, but I'm also not one that goes, yeah, like, oh well, he's a future of the club sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, when the goal went in against Rangers, like, you could hear the Liverpool fans like, Núñez, and like the whole team go over to him, and the senior players in the team are clearly trying to bring him up. Like, everyone's got that hand on the back of his head, sort of going like, that is huge, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we're looking for. So what I don't want to hear, and what we need to stop hearing, is he's great in training, because I'm over that. Like,
On the scale of a great and donkey, I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, average. Anyway,
Changes of foot.
guys, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to his channel. Go check out the kickoff highlights as well over there. And we're going to get out of here. But no, Arsenal can't win the league, you idiots. And Nunes is a donkey. See you in a bit.